which is Frontiers Diaries. So our last episode was an Ode to African Roads Part 2, but because it had so much awesome stuff in it, we decided to split it into 2 videos, and so this one is Part 3. And we love coming across other adventure motorcyclists. I mean, that is one of our favorite things in the whole wide world. When we were going through those elephant roads in Botswana, we were traveling with Emiliano. We didn't mention it at the time, but he's a fellow American motorcycle traveler.
I want to have one, but that's what I got. Not as bad as I thought. You know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it.
Got its head and everything. And through Emiliano, we also met Leo, and he's also an American from Miami who brought his motorcycle to Africa and was traveling through Africa. And on our next road in Rwanda and also in Uganda, we traveled with Leo.
Yeah, we met up with him just before the border of Rwanda.
Yeah.
We, by chance, we knew who he was through Emiliano, but we were at some offshoot, you know, hole-in-the-wall hotel near the border, and then, you know, I hear a knock on my door, and I open it up, and here's this American dude, like, hey! You know.
And we saw him in Namibia before,
We
so
did.
we knew who he was.
In Windhoek, yeah.
And he had seen our motorcycle.
Well, it's hard not to see
Yeah.
our motorcycle. There's like 5 things on Earth you can see from space, and a motorcycle is one of them. But so it was really cool to meet up with him. Borders are always tricky, you know, so it's always good, you know, strength in numbers.
Definitely.
But
so
we
were so happy to have him along.
Yeah, we rode out with him, crossed the border, and then it led us to our next set of 2 roads kind of combined into one because they kind of...
They were doable in one day.
Yeah.
The first part was through Nyungwe Forest, which is this incredible rainforest in Rwanda.
Lala, toto lala, kabla dunia ikusumbue, jitulia mama, kabla mawazo zikufuate fuate, saidia baba, usiwe sababu ya vita, tabasamu kijana, hata kama kuna matata mengi.
It was so misty and mountainous, and it actually wasn't that hot. Compared to other rainforests that we've been to, like in Central America and in South America, usually they're really steamy hot and more or less flat. You do know there's a monkey eating your food.
You dropped it.
Like, I don't care. I don't care. But these were mountainous and chilly from the mist. It was so magical riding through that forest. Road going through Nyungwe Forest was perfectly paved, wonderfully twisty. It had street lamps. It was an amazing road. It also had all these guards, like every 60 feet or so.
Because chimps live in the forest. There's a lot of, you know, I don't know what you call chimp hunting. I don't think it's necessarily poaching. Is it still poaching?
I think so.
Yeah, but, you know, it's to protect the chimps. And so at first it was kind of awkward. You see, you know, a young man with an AK-47, you know, and I always, like, the first thing I do to anybody with a gun, I wave and I smile. And I give a thumbs up, and they see me, and they're like, "I don't know what you are," and I'm like, "I don't know what you are." Why are you here? Is the question both of us are asking. But yeah, there were guards. Like it was kind of like playing Where's Waldo.
Yeah, it was like a game, trying to find them in the foliage.
They're in the bushes, kind of peeking out. But there are a lot of chimp tours there.
Yes.
Which we sadly didn't do. But you could see some tourist vans where the trails begin. But I do think that the guards were there just for the protection of the chimps.
Absolutely. But it's still, even without seeing any chimps, it was such a magical road to
We
go
did
down.
see a family of those little monkeys.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Rwanda is just mountainous and incredible no matter where you are. But we took those mountainous roads to another really cool trail called the Congo Nile Trail. Like, that name by itself is just awesome. And that went along, they say, one of the most beautiful lakes in the world, Lake Kivu in Rwanda. And the trail wasn't always paved. Sometimes it had these little logs that went over a little ravine.
The bridges there, all these throwaways for, once you get off the major road are specifically made, or at least they are only made up to the standards of small little motorcycles.
Yeah.
And so some of these larger river crossings we would have to do, they're just, someone cut down 4 trees and then put them right next to each other for the bridge, and it's got the deep crevasses in with, the deep little cuts in them from...
Yeah, they can be really scary to go over.
Yeah, so once your tire gets kind of caught in one of those ruts, where you don't even really want to be because...
Right.
But...
It's a balance beam. A rounded balance beam.
4 of them side by side. And I just try to gun it as fast as I can, because if I fall, momentum will carry me to the other side, and that would be a lot better than falling down the 10 feet, and that would be bad.
But the views, wow. I mean, I think one of the reasons why everyone says Lake Kivu is so beautiful is because it has these mountains and islands in the distance. So it's not just like a round lake. It has a coastline that is just zigzagging and
peninsulas
curved.
that just stick out, and
Serpentine.
tree branch everywhere. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
And anytime you want to get off of like the Congo Nile Trail, you're 10 minutes from heading a little bit further east onto another pristinely paved with street lamps. The first time I've seen them in Africa.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
Yeah.
So you do have your choice between the rougher Congo Nile Trail or beautiful paved road.
Yeah, but once you're on that rough road, it was hard to pull yourself off of it. It was really nice.
Nyimbo za tumaini, soma soma dada, na uandike hadithi za.
Then from there we headed north into Uganda, and there was this park called Bwindi Impenetrable Forest.
We penetrated it.
Yes,
Spoiler alert.
with a name like that, we were like, okay, we have to go.
we're riding around on a less than pristine gravel road, and we can see my little offline Google Maps is like turn left in 100 yards or whatever, and I look to the left and it's just this Mount Doom
It's a
forest,
storm.
rain and mist everywhere, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, that's where we're going.
It was like brewing disaster. It was
Yeah.
like everything, nature was just saying, do not go this
Yes,
way.
if you had to destroy a ring, that is where you would take it.
And it was just looming over the impenetrable forest. Like, there's a reason why we have
Yeah.
this name.
But we turned left. We got a little Google Maps isn't always spot on its Ugandan off-roads, but Leo was still with us, and we got a little lost. We topped this one hill, and there was a very kind lady that, again, and just kind of sign language and hand motions was like, no, turn around and go back that way.
While we were in the forest, we got rained on pretty heavily in the
Yes.
beginning. So our footage isn't very good of that moment,
yeah.
but it was a very cool feeling to be in the forest at that time. They do have gorillas there.
Yeah.
So this was just a really unique opportunity to ride through a jungle with gorillas.
Yeah.
And you could just
And it's got all that
imagine them peering through the forest at you.
jungle foliage that comes to mind when you think, Indiana
Yeah.
Jones and all that. And I like being in my helmet with my rain gear on in time, but to hear like, the tick of the rain against my helmet,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, you're in your own little world. And
And I think the clouds and the mist really added to that mystical feeling
Yeah,
of
for
it.
sure.
And again, it wasn't very hot there. It was mountainous and just a really unique kind of Congo type of jungle as
Yeah.
opposed to the jungles that we'd
We
seen in
were-
the Americas.
miles from the DRC.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
Very
one road
close.
that we went down, and it led to the border of the DRC, but it looked just like a cool little twisty road. And we went down as far as we wanted and turned around and came back.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very amazing.
Yeah, and on the other side of it is an area of Uganda that people rarely go to. So it was really cool passing through those little villages and people waving at us. And it was just an incredible ride. So to say goodbye to Africa, which we've loved so much,
Today is our last day. We fly out in 7 hours.
we have something really special. We were able to see a musical concert here where they actually were doing some traditional Ugandan dances. And so we'll play some of that for you. It was just
It was cool.
amazing.
It was, there's a lot of cultural things you can do in Africa, starting from South Africa. There's a lot of Zulu dances and stuff in Namibia and
Like the Himba people.
the Himba people. And Kenyans are known for their jump dancing, which is cool.
Yeah.
And sadly, we missed out on a lot of that. We did see some very cool cultural stuff. We do like to dive in. But this was just a shock and awe surprise at
Yes.
our hotel.
Yes.
I mean, they're stringed instruments. They all look like a
Very
format
traditional.
of a harp. So there's like a bass harp that's really low, and then there's a, higher pitched.
Yeah.
It sounds like steel drums.
And their drums, I mean, one of those drums was as big as like the largest tree you will ever see. They must have just taken the entire trunk and
Yeah.
hollowed it out. It was unbelievable. And at one point in time, the electricity cut out, surprise, surprise, and the speakers didn't work anymore. But it didn't matter because
Yeah.
these drums were just like vibrating through us.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. And this particular dance, I'm not sure, but I think it's kind of like a courtship dance because there was like the man and the woman.
It was so cool. It was just a huge surprise and very, very nice that we were able to catch that out of absolutely nowhere.
Yes, it was a perfect goodbye to Africa.
This is true. And so we pass that on to you, and we hope you enjoy the footage. And I think the next time that we will see everybody is going to be
In North
state-bound.
America.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you like this video, please do click the subscribe and the little notification bell,
Give us a big thumbs up.
and we'll see you next time.
See you.
Be safe, everybody.
Bye.
ladies and